Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Got another great video for you guys today. As usual, man, you guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, I want to talk about some comments I saw James Harden make. James Harden talking about leadership, talking about professionalism. Like, what? They don't know how to be a professional. Professional? James Harden doesn't even know what a professional is. That's what I'm talking about with these clowns. And I saw some comments he made about how the NBA has gotten rid of a lot of veteran leadership and how a lot of these young players don't know how to be or what it takes to be a professional. I literally cracked up laughing. I almost fell in my seat when I saw those comments from James Harden. This man has a nerve to talk about being a professional. I'm telling you, these guys are not living in reality, man. And we're going to talk about in this video, guys. James Harden's a clown, man. Dude's never been professional. He's always talking about being a professional. No veteran leadership. Dude, you're not a veteran. You're a veteran with no leadership. Does anyone think James Harden's a leader? Hell no. And we're going to talk about in this video, guys. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, I am truly, truly humbled by all the support, man. It really means a lot, guys. And, you know, like I said, man, it really means a lot because the true basketball fans are standing up, man. And we must continue to set the record straight out here, man. And you guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I want to talk about James Harden and some comments that I saw James Harden make. I think this might have been like a couple of days ago that I saw these comments from James Harden on social media. And, you know, he was talking about how the NBA has gotten rid of, you know, so many veterans in the league and that the NBA has lost its veteran leadership over the years and how, you know, these younger players don't know how to be professionals. They don't know what it takes to be a professional. Let's see what I'm saying, guys. I want you guys to marinate on that for a second. James Harden said that these guys don't know what it takes to be a professional. I want you guys to think about that for a second, man. James Harden. This is James Harden that requested a trade off all these teams. Right? Didn't he request it off Philadelphia? Wanted that out of Brooklyn. Right? Remember he told the guy, Daryl Morey, that, you know, don't talk to me, or, you know, he disrespected him or something like that. And James Harden's a weirdo. He has no idea what it takes to be a professional. These guys say these words out of their mouth, but they don't know what it really means. They don't live it. They talk it. They're all talk, these guys. None of these guys are living it. So James Harden's talking about veteran leadership in the NBA is being taken away. The league is getting rid of a lot of the veterans in the league to bring in a lot of the young guys. That's what James Harden was saying. Oh, they're bringing in guys, these young guys, you know, based off their potential and what they could be down the road, but they're not really, you know, getting fundamentally sound players. And, you know, we're losing the veteran leadership. And these guys don't know what it takes to be a professional. Listen, when we talk about being a professional, and we talk about something like passing the torch, right? Leaving the legacy for the players, the next generation. James Harden's part of the problem with that. When you talk about the 2010s era, who are the top players from the 2010s era? It's guys like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, you know, Dwayne Wade, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. These are the top players of the 2010s, right? If you had to narrow it down to 10 players, James Harden would be on that list. That's how bad the 2010s was. James Harden's one of your top 10 players. We know James Harden's not a top 10 player in any other era, but he's a top 10 player in the 2010s. But nonetheless, when you think about the top players, they're the ones that influence the league. That's why we say, when we talk about the influence and the players, we're always talking about the great players. We're not talking about the role guys, the other guys, because it's the main stars, the great players of the league that push the game forward or push the game wherever it's going to go. They're the ones that influence the league, influence the other players. They're the ones that are supposed to be passing the torch. They're the ones that are supposed to be professionals and show the younger guys coming up how it takes or what it takes to be a professional. James Harden hasn't shown anyone what it takes to be a professional. And I did that video when LeBron James, when Kevin Durant, I'm all jacked up right now this morning. When James Harden was at that basketball camp and they were talking to James Harden, this is about before the season, and he was at that basketball camp and they were talking to James Harden. I think Tyrese Maxey was there. And James Harden was there talking to the kids at the camp about the hard work that he put in and all these things, man. And I laughed. And I laughed and laughed. And James Harden celebrated and was congratulating Tyrese Maxey for getting his max contract. That's what he was congratulating. That's all he was concerned about. Oh, this guy got max, he got money, man. He got a max contract. He got his hard work put in there. It's laughable, man. James Harden shouldn't be talking to anyone. He should not be making any public appearances, doing any public speaking to anybody. Because James Harden, once again, is not walking the walk. So he'll talk the talk, but he ain't walking the walk. This is the same guy that comes into training camp out of shape, right? He's not even in shape. He's going to strip clubs. He's eating. He's eating out of control. I mean, my God, James Harden. It's James Harden. I don't even got to break it down. You guys know James Harden. The same guy that we see walk around the court, lollygag all over the place. That James Harden, guys, is talking about these guys don't know what it takes to be professional. James Harden's never been a professional. He's never known what it takes to be a professional. Does anybody respect James Harden's career? Hell no. James Harden's one of the biggest chokers in playoff history of the NBA. One of the biggest chokers in NBA's history, James Harden. This guy always asking for max money, but he doesn't give you max effort out there, right? James Harden ain't playing every game. He's load managing out there. He ain't playing no defense, James Harden. Zero leadership. I mean, where is the leadership in James Harden? He's talking about leadership. He's talking about, veteran leadership and professionalism. You're the opposite of that. That's why the NBA's gone downhill. If the young guys don't know what it takes to be a professional, it's because of someone like you, James Harden, because of you clowns. It's not because the NBA is getting rid of veterans. You guys are there goofing the game up. That's why. They have no one to look at and be like, oh, I want to be like James Harden. Or I'm going to do what James Harden does. Don't be like James Harden. Don't do that. James Harden has done anything in his career that you should be emulating. Nothing. He travels all over the court, carries the ball all over the court, flops around for fouls, hasn't played defense ever in his career, zero leadership, requests trades. Where was James Harden in Brooklyn? I swear, people forget James Harden was in Brooklyn. This man, he didn't play any games for Brooklyn, barely. Where was he in Brooklyn? He did nothing for the Brooklyn Nets organization. Just another team for James Harden to go to because he didn't want to play on this team. He didn't want to play on that team. Right? Then he goes to the Clippers. What has James Harden done to the Clippers? What has he done for the Clippers since he's been on the Clippers? He's done nothing for the Clippers. Did nothing for Brooklyn. Did nothing for Philadelphia Sixers. Nothing for the Clippers. He did nothing for the Houston Rockets. Did nothing for them. He didn't take them to an NBA Finals. The Rockets were up 3-2 on the Golden State Warriors, and he blew it. He blew it. And I don't want to hear any Chris Paul excuses. James Harden was an MVP winner and once again blew and choked it up in the playoffs. Choked it up. Because once again, James Harden don't do anything else on the court but shoot and score. That's all he does. Oh, James Harden's a great playmaker. No, he's not. No, he's not. If James Harden has 10 or 11 assists in a game, you could bet he's going to have 7, 8 turnovers in that game. Those are the facts, man. James Harden, for every assist, basically turns the ball over for a 1-1 ratio. Not impressed with James Harden's assist numbers. He ain't a great playmaker. Once again, in this weak era of NBA, where there's no defense being played, James Harden, I told you, James Harden ain't winning no MVP in any other era, guys. 0 MVPs. He ain't no all-NBA performer in the 90s. No way. I told you, he may not even make a roster in the 90s because he's not that great of an athlete. He don't play defense like that. What are you going to do? The only way you can score is by traveling and flailing for fouls. It's not going to fly in the 80s and the 90s. So once again, James Harden, what have you done? What have you done to be a professional? To be a leader? You ain't no leader. You've never been a leader. Never once. James Harden's a leader. The guy's a goof, man. Always got some weird statements out there, just something weird to say, but never backs it up. That's a lot of these guys. They talk the talk, but they're not walking the walk. So when James Harden says these guys don't know how to be professional, that's on you, man. Because they're watching goofs like you hang out with these celebrities, go to these strip joints, do all this weird stuff when you're not playing. Not coming to camp in shape because you don't love the game like that. James Harden is a classic case of someone who loves what he gets from the game but does not actually love the game. So the millions of dollars he gets from the game, he loves that. So he'll keep coming and asking for max contracts, even though James Harden, he ain't been a max player in almost 10 seasons. Ain't been a max type player. But he's out here asking his teams for all this money. When are you going to show and prove? When are you going to take a team to the promised land and lead them to a championship, James Harden, and earn that money? These guys don't earn the money. They want the money. They ask for the money. They get the money. And then they don't give the effort. Once again, don't respect James Harden a bit. The man don't play no defense. You guys all seen that video of James Harden walking after that loose ball, and the other guy runs and hustles to it, and gets it and scores, and then goes James Harden just walking on the court after it? Is that showing people how to be a professional? That's not professional. Showing up to camp in shape is being a professional, guys, right? Giving the effort out there, that's being a professional. Giving effort is being a professional. You don't got to be a great defender or good on defense. You got to give the effort on defense. That's being a professional. Showing up to work every day, that's being a professional. These guys don't show up to work every day. James Harden, when's the last time James Harden played 82 games in a season? These guys don't show up to work. They don't show up. That's being a professional. You see guys now, they're late for flights. That's not being professional, because guys like LeBron James and, Kevin Durant and the James Harden, the Kawhi Leonards, these are the guys that they have to look up to. The Paul Georges. These are not professionals. These guys have not been professional. There's been many, many times in their career where they've been the complete opposite of professional. But James Harden is blaming the NBA getting rid of veteran leadership. Dude, aren't you not a veteran? The problem is a lot of you veterans don't have any leadership. Where is the veteran leadership in the NBA? Where is it? If you think about the 2010s guys, none of those guys really, the great players, where are they for leadership? I told you, to me, Steph Curry's not a great leader. Not one of the worst leaders. He's not James Harden or, LeBron James level, Kevin Durant level leadership. But Steph Curry's not a great leader. Kawhi Leonard, no leadership in Kawhi Leonard. Kevin Durant, we all know, no leadership. LeBron James, look at LeBron James' leadership. Blame his teammates. Blame the coaches. Always make excuses. That's not leadership. Look at James Harden, no leadership. Paul George, look at the guys from that era. There's no leadership for those guys. They're the veterans now. So they've passed nothing down to the new generation. So now who are the 2020s leaders? Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, SGA, Joel Embiid. He's supposed to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? So the guys that were supposed to be the veterans, that were supposed to leaving the legacy and passing the torch to James Harden's, those guys didn't do that. And that's what we say, the game has gone downhill. So I told you, this past All-Star game, James Harden should not have been in it, did not deserve or earn that. You guys destroyed the All-Star game. You guys destroyed the league. Damian Lillard, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, these guys shouldn't have been there. They shouldn't have been there. They're part of the problem with the NBA. The NBA did not get better with them. It got worse. But James Harden's already pointing the finger at the NBA. Point the finger at yourself, dude. Because once again, you guys never take any ownership, which goes to leadership. Being a leader means that you take responsibility. You take accountability. None of these guys can seem to do that. So that goes to your leadership or lack of leadership from a James Harden, a clown like James Harden, who needs to, James Harden should have been out of the NBA years ago. After that whole Philadelphia Sixers debacle, he should never been allowed to play in the NBA again. They should have got rid of James Harden. The things that he was saying, the things that he was doing, refusing to do this, refusing to do that, that's not leadership. That's not being a professional. These guys let their emotions get in the way of being a professional. I told you, that's a woman trait. To let your emotions, dictate your reactions. That's women. Women do that stuff. Women, oh man, I'm married to my wife. I've been with my wife for damn near 20 years, man. Right? She cries a lot. Right? We've been watching a TV show. She starts crying because it's emotional. A commercial comes on, she's crying. That's women, man. That's what they do. I told you, if I see one of those St. Jude commercials come on, they're very upsetting. Those St. Jude commercials, man. You guys know those St. Jude commercials. They do something to me, man. I turn the channel off. Guys. I can't watch those commercials. But I'm not going to sit there and cry about it. Is it worth crying? Yeah. You could definitely cry listening to those stories of those families, of those children, man. But that's not what men do, really. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that's not how guys are. We don't react with emotions all the time. That's women, man. That's what these guys do. They get emotional, and then they act a certain way. Oh, I'm not playing for you guys. I'm requesting a trade. You guys are emotional, man. You guys are weird. Remember Kevin Durant didn't want to play for the Brooklyn Nets? I get all emotional. I'm not playing for you guys anymore. You guys got to fire Steve Nash. What? It don't make no sense, man. If the players are not professional or they don't know how to be professional, James Harden, it's because of you guys. Because of players like you. The top players in the era before, you did not show them the way. You did not carry yourselves like professionals to show them what it looks like to be a professional. That's why when you look at all the eras, the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, you look at how these guys went to post-game press conferences, you listen to the way that these guys spoke. They spoke with a lot more class, a lot more respect. You can honor these guys. And like I said, they had a lot more integrity. They didn't curse every other word. Bro this, bro that, N-word this, MF for that. I mean, it's ridiculous when you listen to some of these guys speak. It's actually disgusting and cringe as hell because they're not professionals. You look at how these guys dress. They're a bunch of weirdos, man. It's not a professional. Like, give me a break, man. Like I said, the way that these guys talk to the fans, talk down to the fans, that's not a professional, man. Because a professional knows that the fans are part of the game and respects the fans. Yeah, we know fans say crazy things. They do crazy things. But this has been going on forever, guys. Forever. It's not all of a sudden now. It's been going on forever. That's the way the games are. People heckle you. It happens, man. Not saying it's right, but it's part of the game. You're getting millions of dollars to be a professional. They're paying you to deal with that kind of stuff. Right? They pay you guys to push through pain, to be above, to rise above that stuff that maybe a common person would be succumbed to. You guys are supposed to be professional athletes. You're supposed to be above us. You're supposed to be better than us in that regard. Push through pains. Show up to work more often than not when maybe a regular person couldn't do it. Because you're a professional athlete. You're getting all this money. You get all this treatment. You have all the advantages to help you do this. There's no excuses for you guys. But yet all the time they have excuses. James Harden, king of excuses. A lot of these guys, king of excuses. They always been a victim. They're the victims all the time. We don't know no leadership. Don't know how to be professionals. You guys know it's an absolute joke for James Harden to ever talk about being a professional, man. It's an absolute embarrassment for him to say that. You have no idea what it takes to be a professional. You have not been professional. And you definitely don't know nothing about leadership, man. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.